Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Purgatory, brought to you by Forced Strategy Gaming. Here at Purgatory, we keep you up to date on all things Diablo III related. In this week's episode, we will be discussing skill cooldowns, a Diablo III Armory, respec info, and the Demon Hunter resource system coming soon, and armor, dies, and shields. High-end, powerful spells and abilities in Diablo 3 will have the limitation of cooldowns. Now, we were recently made aware of this fact, and there was a little bit of an outcry, just a lot of people in the community unhappy with this, stating that this is something that is far too much like WoW, and it shouldn't be in Diablo. Diablo, you should be able to spam all of your skills. Part of the response from Bashok was the following. Bottom line is that cooldowns allow for skill complexity or power by limiting them in a meaningful way, because it can mean long-term balance even as stats inflate. We do want to make sure that we're only using them where appropriate, though. So as you can see, Blizzard's explanation for this is that as the game progresses and players get more and more powerful gear, they don't want these super strong abilities, these later tier abilities, to be so overpowered and something that you can spam non-stop. There are several ways and thoughts behind how to limit this, but skill cooldowns is kind of one of the most prevalent, and people stating that this is something that's directly akin to WoW needs to really kind of get off your high horses, because this is something that's been around for quite some time. And Bashok even said it's been around for millennia. That might be a bit of a stretch, but still, the idea of limiting powerful abilities through a cooldown has been around for a while. It is not directly related to WoW, and it is what is going to be used in Diablo 3. Now, it is important to keep in mind that they'll be taking bits and pieces from the different ways to limit the strength of these, and one of them will be increased resource costs, but yes, skill cooldowns will be in Diablo 3. Have you ever wondered what the F your opponent is wearing, how they're spending their skills, and why are they such a badass? Well, fret not, because in Diablo 3 you will be able to look up all of this information. Diablo 3 will have an armory system. I'm expecting this to be much like it is for World of Warcraft, in the fact that you'll just be able to go online, type in the player's information, such as their character name, and you'll be able to look at their gear, their skills, and how they're spending their points, everything of that nature. So their skill and trait points and all of that, and the type of gear that they're using. Now, I personally think this is a pretty cool thing. It is used in World of Warcraft. You can find out exactly what gear and what talent picks your opponents are doing, or your friends, or whatever. And the reason I think this is such a good thing is because it allows for kind of a general community knowledge. It allows players to come to a greater consensus of the strong and the weak builds, and it makes for, you know, just more information out there. If you're able to look at your opponent's build and be like, that's cool, but I don't like this about it, and if I tweak it like this, it'll be much more akin to what I personally like, something in that nature. So pretty cool stuff. There will be an armory in Diablo 3. I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions. So what do you think about this? Do you think it'll provide maybe an unfair advantage, as people will be able to look up exactly what you're doing? I know some people do have that concern, but either way, let me know what you think below. There's still so many questions about so many aspects of Diablo 3, but rest assured we'll be finding out more information soon. Thanks a lot, Blizzard. That's all we ever get. Soon is the word of Blizzard Entertainment. I'm pretty sure they've trademarked it, in fact. What am I talking about? Well, we've got some information that we will be looking to see some more information about the respec system and the Demon Hunter resource, and both of those things will be coming soon. Now, actually, what I feel this to be, Bashok had mentioned, yes, we'll be hearing about a respec system soon. Yes, we'll be hearing about the Demon Hunter resource system soon in the last week. I'm expecting this soon to likely be the upcoming Diablo 3 press media event that's taking place on the 27th of this month. If you weren't already made aware, I will be at that event, so hopefully I'll be finding out about both the respec system and the Demon Hunter resource system soon. Now, we've known about armor dies for quite a while now, and if you aren't privy to this information, you will be able to die anything in Diablo 3. A piece of gear, you don't like the color of it for some reason, if you're a fashionista, you can change the color makeup of it through armor dice, which will be found in game. Now there was just a question about the higher end items, specifically set and legendary items. Someone asked if those will be dyeable, and the response was indeed. So yes, set items, legendary items, regular pieces of gear, all these things will be able to be dyed to meet your fashion needs. Now in addition to that, we have some mention of shields. Now there was a question as to whether or not every class would be able to use shields, and we have been confirmed all classes in Diablo 3 can use shields. Now for a little while the monk was questionable, but they have decided come at the end of the day that it would make more sense for the monk to be able to use shields, just because this adds to the customization of the game and allowing you to play it how you like. For last week's giveaway, I asked you guys to tell me which character you thought was the coolest and why. The winner of last week's prize is Ryuk796, and his response was this: skills that exceed common magic, the ability to control several minions, fearsome to many, voodoo looks, and a power that strikes back into his body. See his trembling hand. He horrifies the monsters that came from the depths of hell to wipe out humanity. You ask, who is the most badass? Dude, Witch Doctor defines badass. I would have to say, based on your description, I agree. Witch Doctor sounds pretty cool, and scaring the monsters that came to wipe out humanity, well, that is a feat indeed. So congratulations to you, Ryuk796. You were the winner of last week's prize. This week's giveaway prize will be a Diablo 3 Witch Doctor mousepad from SteelSeries. Now in order to win this week's prize, you must do the following. You must like and favorite this video, you must make sure you are subscribed to our channel, and let me know in the comments below. We're going to go back to what we discussed earlier. Let me know what you think about both the skill cooldowns and the Diablo 3 Armory. I want to know your thoughts and opinions about the two. Feel free to debate, and I will be picking a winner based on the discussion below, but let me know what you think about both skill cooldowns being in Diablo 3 and the Armory system. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this week's episode of Purgatory. As always, stay tuned next week for another episode of Purgatory. Quick note too, I did have technical mishaps at the end of last week, which prevented us from being able to record the Diablo 3 podcast. There are still people asking about this. I made a video explaining why the situation was the way it was, but just to let you know, yes, unfortunately, we weren't able to get last week's recorded, but don't worry, stay tuned this Friday for another episode of DiabloCast. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Keep watching and keep owning.